What?
It should be an option.
No, it just says pause or start. I got no option.
It's to record to the cloud or on the computer.
Yeah, it doesn't say anything.
All right, then we're gonna have to do something and set up.
Okay. Oh, I got it back for that same night. Yeah, this is a lot faster computer, so.
Yeah, maybe I can polish it.
What?
Then maybe I can polish it away.
Yeah.
You say back that same night, hours
Yeah.
after you leave or before?
It was after I left.
Oh, that's a foul.
When I got home, it was already done.
Oh, wait, yeah,
I can't see where it says,
did I get the last one?
sure. Okay, you're set. How many people? No. Okay. Oh. Okay, ready to go? You can use the mic up there in the thing. My camera got, oh shit, he left.
We're ready. All right. Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the September meeting of the Wisconsin Woodworkers Guild. Do we have any guests or new members this evening? Yeah. I know we've got in the back. What's first name? Liam.
Liam.
Liam. Liam. Like Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. Dave, welcome. I know Mark is around here somewhere. Oh, Mark's over here. Welcome, Mark. David, welcome. And Jim. And you, sir. Oh, I'm never gonna see that here.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay. No, behind you. Did you have your hand up? Yeah.
I already said my name, David.
Oh, okay. That's where I heard the David. All right. Well, welcome, everyone.
Old age.
We've got a lot of announcements. I'm gonna try to zip through them as fast as we can because we have Dave Campbell tonight, who is actually runs a website called MKE Gadgets, and he makes some unbelievable stuff. So I want to give him as much time as we can. So there's a kind of a promotion deal at all Home Depots. Every quarter, they give out a certain amount of $50 gift cards for nonprofit organizations. So if you're in a Home Depot, if you want to take one of our business cards that we have in back, if you think you want to approach the service desk and ask them to talk to a manager, then tell them who you are, give them the card, and they may give you a gift card that you can bring down, and then we'll put it over for the shop, right?
Does boy have to know that for you? Don't make me swear.
Well, I think they'll tell you. I mean, if more than one person goes in, I think, either the manager will let you know, or hey, if it's a different manager and you get two cards. Yeah, Gary.
Being you mentioned that, do we have any up-to-date business card with our address on it, rather than just our website? But then I've been approached and by the Women's Center and everything, they kept sending email.
No.
Yeah. Let me look. I know there were some back in the orange box, but I have to double check.
That way the guys have cards.
Yeah. Yeah. I have not checked since the last woodworking show. because we took some down, but I will take a look. Floyd, am I pretty well right on what I said there?
Yeah, I guess I would like to keep track of who is going to what store.
What the heck is going on with TV?
What we'd like to do is, have someone go to the store like every other quarter. You can't hit them up every quarter. You know. And, if we can get people assigned to specific stores.
Yeah.
Then we can sort of
I
coordinate
don't-
that.
Not
Make
TV,
sure
it's,
it's not all people in the store.
We want to come to that you first.
That would be probably best, if you'd like to give you any collateral that you need, give to them. Explaining that we're a 501c3, our, tax ID, and all those other things that they may want. Yeah, I've got something right now. So if you're interested in doing that, get in touch with me.
Mhm.
And, I'll take your name or email address and send it off to you. Okay?
Okay.
And for your new members, that's Floyd. That's
Yeah.
Yeah, Floyd. If you can't remember, I'm Floyd.
Well, we probably could. I'm Ron Reuter, the president. Our vice president is Mike Robertson. Mike, you're over there. Greg Waldo is our treasurer. What's his name? Floyd is our secretary. Ron Peterson is our membership director. He's not here tonight. And we do not have a program director yet. That is an open position, which I'll talk about when I bring up the elections. So you can come to any of us if you have a question or comment or whatever it amounts to. Our board meeting minutes. Floyd prints them up and he's got a 3-ring binder over here that if anybody is interested, we're not going to print them anymore and put them in a ripsaw. So if you're interested in what happened at the last board meeting, they will be over there in the 3-ring binder. The elections, I think the only one at is this point that there's going to be 2 people running is. Okay. Is going to be for president. I'm still running in the same position, and Ron Peterson is also running for the president. Our election is going to be in November. So if you have any questions for either, well, Ron not being here, you can't ask him. But if you have any questions, we still have 2 months to go yet. Mark Heckendorf is our new education chairman. We voted him in at the last board meeting, but you also wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, if you don't know, I offer classes once a month.
Hey, Mark. Go ahead, Mike.
Okay.
We've seen it done.
If, how about this?
A little closer.
How about this? There we go. So if most of you don't know or do know, I offer woodworking classes once a month. It's Saturday, Sunday morning. And we build a board all together and you can engrave it to whatever board, whatever I have. There's 2 of them up here right now from my last class. In October, I think I have somebody signed up besides the gentleman who signed up tonight. I still have 2 openings for October. It's 14th and 15th. Anybody interested in coming to one of my classes? November is full. I don't have one in December. And I'll be publishing the first 6 months next year and the next trip.
Why do dermatologists?
$75. 25 of that goes to the guild in your name.
double repair face
So,
wash?
we keep track of that.
Repair skin's
And
barrier.
you walk out with more.
Hydration for healthy skin.
And you can be customized. We do some custom work for some people. So, if you're interested in a class, please come and see me. I'd be happy to talk to you. Thank you.
In a hurry, there's not a faster, easier way to put on shoes.
Okay, Wally Trester had a class here.
I
We
did,
kinda
but I
kicked it off a little
decided-
bit. last week
decided,
for a couple items up here. So Wally, I'll let you explain those. He's
Yeah.
got a class coming up though, September 30th from 9:30 to 12. The cost on that class is $30. So if you are interested, talk to Wally. You want to show him what you're gonna make?
I just brought somebody in.
It's Macy's Monday sale tomorrow with great deals of the day.
We're gonna be
like
making
40%
two
off
items.
Designer fragrances.
First
up to
is this.
50% off underwear,
It's a
bras,
wine
and
holder.
more, and up to 60% off
It's,
shoes,
uh,
handbags, and
it's
accessories.
designed to
Plus,
hold
get free shipping with any $25
seven hundred and fifty
purchase.
milliliter wine bottle. Don't try putting in a bigger one because it won't work. And then these, and then I have two designs. These are oven rack hoods for the lady in the house. So what you do is you just put
Introducing instant cash.
hook the oven rack in here and she can pull it out. And when she's ready, put it back in, she just pushes it back in. With the squirrel, you have to turn it around, pull it out, and push it in. Okay,
Oh,
so
you can do it
you have your
together.
choice of making these two, one of these two, and we're gonna be doing that on the 30th, which is Saturday, from 9:30 till we get done. We have 1, 2, 3, 4 scroll saws down here. This you're gonna make on a bandsaw and a regular table saw and
But it might not be enough to leverage them into cooperating.
drill press. That's it. Okay.
what it needs.
So those are the two
I know you're
things.
upset.
We wanted to do something that
It's
was
funny, I'm
easy
not
to
sure I know
do
what that means.
and
We all
didn't
wanna
take a
know
whole
that.
lot
Why
of
don't you guys
time.
head back to the
and it's
district, see if you can
basically-
locate Hoff's
I
whereabouts.
mean, a lot of you guys have been woodworking for a lot of years, so I guess.
We're
this
gonna
is for
talk
the
to
newer
Rose one
members
more
that are
time, see if we
interested
can
in doing
convince him to
something like
cooperate.
this. And we didn't want to do it.
So
we didn't want
this
to
is
make-
not a negotiation.
Yeah, it's too complicated because we didn't want it to last 2 or 3 sessions or whatever. Okay, some of the other things that we were talked about at the board meeting was making something like this. There again, though, you have to have some experience in scroll sawing to be able to do something like this, okay? The other thing is, this is really simple. This is a coaster. Use 4 different kinds of wood that are an eighth of an inch thick. You paste them together and you cut them all at one time, and then you assemble the product in any way any order that you want. So when you get done, you'll have 24 pieces. Any questions on the upcoming class? No, okay, you can see Greg to sign up, the cost is $30. And I believe there's a gift card in there involved.
There's a $10 gift card for upstairs involved in that.
So all of the money is gonna go right to the guild. We're not getting anything for doing it. So we can take. Oh, got 4, we can think about what did we say, 6 people?
Yeah, we actually do have 6 scroll saws. 4 of them are set up right now. But between the bandsaw and the scroll saw. And this is, you can pick from either one of these back here. That's the wood that you're gonna supply for you, so you don't have to bring anything. You just have to come yourself and Wally will take it from there.
Any questions?
When is it?
The 30th of September.
It's a Saturday.
The last Saturday in September. Okay,
Information is in the written doc.
right.
Yeah, it might be. It is in the rip. Okay.
It's in the ripsaw. Do you have anything else? Or if there are any other projects or things that you would like to have done? Some of the other things that we talked about was possibly doing some Christmas ornaments on the scroll saw, some simple Christmas ornaments. We usually use about an 1/8 inch thick plywood for that and then paint them, whichever color you want. But what you can do that way is you can take 4 pieces and use some carpet tape and put them together, and you can cut 4 out at one time. So if there's enough people, one person can do 4 4, 4, and 4, and then at the end, you'll each have one Christmas ornament of a different shape. Okay,
Okay,
anything else? All right.
all right, Wally, thank you.
Sure.
Now, for those of you that may have noticed in the back room on the wall there, we've got the American flag. That is thanks to Jerry Anson. I almost, God, all of a sudden it left me. Jerry did that for us. So we got it up. That's out of the strips that we get from Bay Madison. So if you run into him, thank him. He's busy in the back, but thank you, Jerry, for making that flag for us. The Bader Philanthropic, I wanted to give you an update on it. We met with the lady here about 2-3 weeks ago. We've gone through that phase. We're in the next phase. We won't know the results until October, but we moved up one more ring in the ladder. So just to keep you update on that. We are going to have pen kits for sale October 7th and the 14th from 9:30 to noon. I'll be down here working on some shelving in the back. So if you are interested in pen kits, they're a heck of a good buy. And we did have the list in the Ripsaw months and months back. But if you'd like to come down and take a look, we're going to try to move them right along. So, question? No? Okay. Oh, Jerry, thank you for the flag. I wanted to make sure we got it back. So that's October 7th and the 14th. December 7th is the Christmas party. It will be at Myers over on the south side. It's off of 76th. Cold Spring. Thank you. It is $35 per person. So if you are interested in that, sign up, turn your money into either Greg or any one of the officers that we can get it. I put us down for 50 people. We have to have 50 minimum, no matter what we're going to pay for 50. So if we do get to 50, at least the guild is going to have to fork up the rest. Tonight also, Greg Wernish.
Yes.
You wanted to say something about the library with the magazines.
Like that old rock song, Tonight's the Night. Well, tonight is the night. We have a bunch of magazines that Tim and I have been promoting this. You guys have been walking in. We got Workbench, we got American Woodworker, Fine Woodworking, Popular Woodworking, Woodworker's Journal, Today's Woodworking, and Miscellaneous. Unfortunately for you gentlemen, all the shop notes have been spoken for. One early bird got them all, but we just want to move these up so we don't get damaged by moisture and so on. Thank you.
Yeah, we did have a flood here about a month or so ago. You probably got to notice Woodcraft lost power. When they lost the power, the pumps died down here and the crocks filled up and bubbled over. We had water all over down here. It took hours to clean it up, and we lost quite a few magazines that were back there in boxes on the floor. So we're trying to eliminate them. So, if someone can use them, it'd be great. We'd move them on. Tonight, when Dave does his presentation, he's got some giveaways. Hold on to your red tickets. Those will be the ones for the door prize. Because at the end, we're going to redraw tickets from the red group, not the blue from the raffle table, but from the red. So Dave's gonna raffle that off at the end, so keep your red tickets. You may not have won a door prize, but you might win something that Dave does. Okay, I think I'm pretty well caught up on it. Does anybody have any questions? Did I forget anything?
Yes.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry. On the raffle table tonight, we are privileged to have 2 Dave McBride original pens. Dave is a phenomenal pen maker. I mean, some of the stuff he turns out is unbelievable. So we have 2 of them over there. So if you're interested, go on over, get some tickets. And hopefully you'll win one. So anything else? Jeff?
Why doesn't inform me that at this meeting, we need to take nominations from the floor, if there are any? So I heard Ron say this is what the slated candidates that we have for the elections. And I'm sorry, I was talking to them, that they only a whole of tools, like this is the end of the meeting. But anyhow, program committee, any volunteers, I know we got nobody. To fill it. That's basically just to help find people to speak at the meetings. If you're interested, let me know in the next 10 days, that's what the ballots will go out. Aside from that, are there any nominations from the floor for anybody else that's in any of these positions?
Jeff, can you just read the list? I have bad eyes.
Basically, the president is Ron Ryder, Ron Peterson are running. Vice president, we have Dave Lane, Mike Robertson was the vice president, he decided not to run. And Dave Lane stepped up and said he will run for vice president. Secretary is Floyd McNally, who's been doing it previously. Treasurer Rick Waldo, who's also incumbent. Membership was Ron Peterson. But now John Philwalter has stepped up to assume those duties. And the program chair is currently open. So that's who we have. You will be getting a ballot by email. Along with some instructions on board, it's going to be coming from the email called WWG elections. So within the next 10 days. So if you do not get one in the next 10 days, get in touch with me or check your spam. The election is not till November. So you can really probably use this in wait till October 1st. So if you don't have it by then, get in touch with me, and then when you get one, you can either vote by way of email and return that, or you can vote in the November meeting. If you return it to email, it's not the email I will acknowledge every return email. So if you send me one, I will just respond, got it, or something. So if you don't get the response, those are something is going on. That we follow up. But that'll be in the instructions to the email. That'll be coming in November. I can't think of anything else. I mean, it's really not too complicated. But, okay, so is there any last call nominations before? If not, can I have a motion that we accept this slate of candidates? So, thank you. Is there a second? Second. Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Okay, carries. This is what you'll be seeing on your ballots. And again, until the 11th hour, I will still take a program chair from anything at all interested parties. That's all I got. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, anything else? Greg?
Is there a deadline for paying for Christmas party?
Yeah, we've got to get the number in 2 weeks before the 7th, so figure mid-November. We have to know.
November is the deadline for sign up.
Yes.
Yeah, make sure everybody understands.
Yeah, I know they do allow us, 2 or 4, assuming it'll be couples, but if you want to go try to get it in mid-November, if you've never been to one, it's a lot of fun. We do have the hip sack challenge. For those of you that aren't familiar with it, there's some 3/8" strips back here on the lumber pile. They're 3/8 by 1.5 inches by 7 foot. You take one of those strips and you make something with it. You can't use anything else except that strip. You can paint them, you can stain them, you can do what you want, but you got to make something with that strip. And last year we had a first, a second, and a third place winners. And you get a gift card. So from upstairs. So if you are interested in that, or if you have some questions, ask. Best one to ask is Jerry. I mean, it's not because he took first place last year. But and I don't want to, I'm not trying to embarrass you, Jerry. But anything that you think you might want to come up with, you bring them in, you set them on a table, and you get a number. And then right after dinner, people go up and they will, I think we did toothpicks last year. You put a toothpick in a cup that sat in front of the project. So that, and then we just counted the toothpicks, and that gave us the winner. But if you have any questions, catch me during break. I'll try to tell you. I'll go back and I'll show you where they are. They're just on the top of the rack. And speaking of those, there were some people that signed up here about a month or so ago, a couple months maybe. We are gonna be getting a pallet of those strips from Bay Madison. They're gonna be loading it on a trailer and I'll be bringing it down. I'm thinking. I don't know if it'll be the third week in October, because the first two we have filled. We'll keep you posted and probably send out an email. I'm gonna say there's probably 1,000 strips per pallet load. So if anybody is interested, come on down, take as many as you want. There's no cost if you're a member. So that'll be coming up and you'll be informed. So any questions on that? You can make you can make a small flag. We guys make Christmas trees. Jerry made an unbelievable boat. Ron Peterson made a beautiful cross. I mean, it was just, go back and, bring up the website with that ripsaw edition in it and you'll be able to see it. So if there's nothing else, I'm going to turn it over to Dave Campbell. He's one of, I'm going to say our newer members, 2 years now, Dave, maybe?
December, I come.
Okay.
I have one quick thing.
Oh, what's that?
On this Christmas party.
Go ahead.
Don't
Put your
go
mic
far.
on.
Just sign up,
Put your mic on.
see me. I'm the one that's gonna collect and keep these rack that. Don't go all over the place and stand out, see me and then sign up.
Yeah. Greg's the money man.
Now, I will be here for the November meeting and then on that October meeting.
October. Okay. All right. Dave runs a company, like I say, MKE Gadgets. This is gonna be gadget night tonight. So we're gonna see
All right.
what Dave does. Dave, it's all yours.
So clarification, it's a YouTube channel, MP Get. I am retired, so I don't run a company, I don't run a company. Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So, this is Gadget Night. So I joined a guild in December, started coming to the board meetings, and you're looking for somebody to fulfill every month's meeting. I volunteer to do this. If you have any talent, I have a talent. If you have any talent, please, come forward and you can do something like this. I'm a gadget guy, so I'll just start my presentation. I gotta look at my screen and I get it worked out. Okay, I'm Dave Campbell. This is my shop. It's 24 by 36, in-floor heat, built in 2013. And I'm out there every day. Every morning I'm in the shop most of the day. Okay, on YouTube, I have a YouTube channel called MKE Gadgets. I'm a little nervous, so I'm thirsty too. And I have some business cards up there with my YouTube channel and my email if you want to get hold of me. And please take one. Great. Okay, so what is a gadget? A gadget, we all have our envision of a gadget. A gadget is a small tool such as a machine or a particular function. It's often thought of as a novelty item. Gadgets are sometimes called gizmos. So when I think of gadget, there's something that comes to my mind first. And so whenever I take a class, or whenever I go to a presentation, I have one goal. I want to learn one thing. So I want all you guys to learn one thing today, okay? That's my goal. So learn one thing and let me know if you didn't. I'll make something up. Okay, my motivation. So if you can see in this picture, I don't know if you noticed the guy on the left, you recognize that guy. That's Q from James Bond movie. Okay, gadgets, I think are Q. The right hand picture is the same gentleman, and that's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He was the junk man in Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Interesting thing, now you're probably gonna learn something right here. Ian Fleming, who wrote the James Bond books, wrote Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. So you're okay. Now you all, everybody go home and learn one thing. Okay? So at any time, raise your hand if you gotta ask a question. My motivation, I love the Roadrunner, and they call it the Roadrunner, but really the Coyote is on screen more than a Roadrunner. And what I love about the Roadrunner is the gadgets. Q, Roadrunner, gadgets, or the Coyote gadgets. And I love watching with my grandkids because we watch them, and then I always say to them, "What's going to happen?" You know, the thing is, the arrow, the bullet, or the firecracker. It's all going to break. And I want my kids, my grandkids, to look at a picture and figure out what the failure point is. And we have a good time laughing at it. So I love the coyote. Acme, you know. So we can learn something from the coyote. You know, he is thinking, we can learn something from him because he makes mistakes and he gets up and he goes again, right? He gets squished, he gets burned, he gets run over by a semi truck, and then he has a moment. He orders something from Acme. Nowadays, it'd probably be Amazon, and he gets up there, and we know he's gonna fail again, but we watch because we want him to succeed. And as woodworkers, we all fail and we throw our wood away, or we start over, or we rename the project, and the project becomes smaller. And we can learn something from the coyote because he gets back up and does it again. Okay, so question. Let's say you want to go buy a new tool. All right, what's the first place you stop when you buy a new tool? I want you to think about it. Anybody want to yell out where they stop, where they go first? Woodcraft. Anybody else? Just yell it out.
Calvary.
Okay. Just okay, anybody else? Just yell at anything. Menards, okay. I look 8 minutes for Menards and I love Menards. That's not where I go. I want to buy a new tool. Where do I go? Get my wife to jewelry shop. All right. So I go to there we are. She bought this ring and she bought this ring. It's our 40th anniversary and she wanted a new ring. And I said, great. She goes, you want something? I said, no. And I go to a lot of flea markets and I really like Starrett tools. Starrett tools are machinist tools. I'm a retired machinist fabricator from Harley Davidson for the last 30 years. Okay. So I love tools. And when I go to a flea market, I look for Starrett tools because they really hold their value. And I come home, she goes, what do you buy? I said, I bought this Starrett. She goes, you have enough tools? And I said, you got enough jewelry? All right, she never brought up that you have enough tools again, you know? So if my wife's happy, I'm happy. If mom's happy, if your husband's happy, right? So, you know, that's what I do. Okay, what do we do with our mistakes? You can burn them in your wood pile, right? You can rename them, you can, you know, use something else in that. Somebody did a presentation early in the year and they said that's what they did with mistakes. I thought, I'm adding that to my presentation. So thank you for that. Okay, my first gadget is this shop coat. And as I'm wearing it, it has my name on it. And I like shop coats versus apron because you can put stuff in the pockets. I also do metalworking, metal fabrication, 3D printing, woodworking. And I have chips and old chips flying at me all the time. I can take this off, hang it up and go in the house and I don't have any dirt or metal or I'm not taking anything with me. So I like the shop coats. And I got these for everybody at work and we really like them when I retired. They gave me my shop coat. And I actually have a couple of them there. That's my first gadget. Shop coat. Okay, hockey pucks. So everybody knows about, thought I had a very good. Everybody knows what a hockey puck is here, right? So if you play hockey, a hockey puck. Okay, hockey puck. So what I do with a hockey puck, so on the left, hockey puck, left and then right. This is the leg for a table or a machine. Okay, so nice thing about this, the hockey pucks are relatively cheap. If you go to open skating at Wilson Park, you go into the bleachers and you get as many as you want for free. Okay, so let's say your basement floods, and that would never happen to anybody we know here. And your table, your wooden table, whatever, steel table is touching the ground, it's gonna rust. Okay, it's gonna rust from the bottom up, your legs are gonna rust. You put in a hockey puck, that's 1 inch. You get 1 inch of water before anything's gonna rust. It also isolates all your machines. All my I'm getting ahead of myself. So you can drill on the drill press or on the lathe. And Boston bits, this stuff, this is a carriage bolt. This stuff with a Boston bit drills really nice. You wouldn't believe it, just shavings come off. 1/2 inch, I use all 1/2 inch carriage bolts, washer, 1/2 inch nut. Now you got a lathe for any of your machines. So here's my table and my lathe. Everything in my shop that touches the ground is either on a wheel or on a hockey puck. This way, my in-floor heat doesn't radiate into the machine. when you move the machine, it doesn't scratch the powder coat off my table. And it kind of acts as a nice ice layer. Now my compressor, I bought a compressor. And I didn't have this idea yet, and I had to buy some feet. They were $16 a piece. Times 3 feet, okay, so you can make these for practically nothing, so. Hockey puck. Okay, I like to repurpose stuff. And here is my collection of jars. And some guys have been in my shop, and I have a lot of jars, and everybody says, where do you get all these jars from? And I said, well, I get them from Pick and Save. And they go, they sell empty jars? I said, no, mayonnaise, peanut butter. Now this is 30 years of collection. My kids accuse me of buying products just because of the container. And they're right. And I love Costco. Me and my wife really got into these smoked almonds a couple of years ago. And we would buy them in a container like you see there. And all of a sudden they changed them to a bag. We stopped buying smoked almonds. Okay, so this is a demonstration. So I'm gonna have slides that says demonstration. Okay, so this is your container, pretzel nuggets. And the hardest thing about this is getting that damn label on, right? Okay, you can soak it, you can use a nail. And one day I got a fireproof cabinet with all my chemicals in my shop. All my aerosols, all my paint. And one day I says, today's the day I'm gonna figure out how to remove a label with something I already have. Silicone spray. Now, any silicone, doesn't have to be this brand. This is what Menards sells. I'm 8 minutes from Menards every day. And WD-40 brand, any brand of silicone spray. So I'm just gonna spray this on the label. I won't let it sit, and I'll show you how easy this peels off. So I'm just spraying it on there, spray it on there. And we're just gonna let it sit over here, okay? And then hopefully it just peels off like it does at home. So if you see my jar collection, I don't have any labels on there, but the labels I put on with my label maker, and I go to other people's houses and I see the labels on there and I'm just like. Okay. This is a raffle item I got here. And this is a raffle item here. And so I was traveling last year and went to a lot of hotels. And right here. So I traveled a lot of hotels and I saved the hotel keys. Now you can use a hotel key or you can use a gift card. Amazon gift cards are really papery, so they don't work like this. This is like the ultimate paint scraper. Okay, they're free. If you notice, I like free stuff. So if you really get fancy, I don't know if you can see this, it's cut like a jigsaw, right? So I went to my wife, I said, hey, do you have some painting shears? I don't know if people know what painting shears are, but you use them in sewing. And they put a zigzag. There you go. Next time she cuts your hair, you can do it. So you take your gift card or your hotel key, you have painting shears, and you just cut that off. I'm left-handed, and these are right-handed shears. And you have now a nice paint scraper. So I got a bunch of these up here. This is gonna be a raffle item. You know, help yourself. I get the vision of what I'm talking about? Okay. And demonstration, the world's best glue scraper. It also is good for scraping a lot of things. And if it gets wrapped, it's free. It doesn't really cost much. You can go and buy a really nice glue scraper for a couple of bucks. Okay, glue. So when I buy glue, I don't go through a lot of glue. I like to write the date on stuff. So I write the date on there, and all of a sudden, holy cow, this glue is a couple years old. You know, go buy some new glue. So I write the name on there. And then down here, let me show up the screen. A straw. So someone said you take a straw, and I did this, and you can get inside the corner of a tray or corner of a project. And I saw this on the Wood Whisperer, and I'm going to be watching YouTube, the Wood Whisperer. And he said he went out and he bought a package of 50 straws from Amazon. And I'm like, you bought straws? So whenever I go to a restaurant,
I take the straw and I take it home. I got a big thing full of straws. I'm like, you paid money, you paid shipping, and then you have the plastic or the paper cover. And I cut my straws in half. Usually at the restaurant, I put them in my pocket. I got enough straws. So I'm thinking, why are you doing that? That was just again blowing my mind. I like to take something for free and use it in a different way. I like to take something that someone throws out, hotel keys, straws, and use it in a practical way. That, to me, that's fun. Okay, glue pots. The one on the left, the blue one. I bought that for $10. And I paid $10 for it. The one on the right, okay, $10. You probably all got them. So you put glue in there and you do your project. How do you get the glue out? Not very well. So I bought this one for $7.49. I got 2 pieces of chicken. It's all on the biscuit. And the funny thing is, this is true story. I went and I bought the blue one on the way home. This is a couple years ago. I was still working. I stopped for supper, and I got this one. And as I'm eating my coleslaw, I go, "Wait a minute." You know, these are going through my mind, and then I'm going, $10, you know, or this one. So this one is really nice. You can put your glue in there, and you can cover it up, and then it won't dry out. But and I don't go through a lot of glue. So let's say you put your glue in there and you got your little brush. Okay, so I can put it in there, but I use a little glue. So I put my glue in there. Okay. And I use my brush and do my project and go, I got a little glue left. Demonstration. I got a little glue left. I take my bottle and I go like this, and I can get most of that glue back in there. All right. Try doing it with this one. You know, some people, they go through a whole lot of glue. This wouldn't work for them, but for me, it works fine. And then I can leave this out in the shop. This will dry, you know, overnight. I come back the next day, it'll pop, and it pops right off, like there's never glue in there. So again, I like to take something that someone throws out and make it something useful. Pizza tables. Anybody know what a pizza table is? Wrong.
Barbie stand.
No. Well, it's this little, I don't know what they call it. I name them pizza tables in my house. When you buy a pizza, if it comes in a box, you don't need a pizza table. If it comes in paper, they put these little plastic things in there. I label them pizza tables. All right. Here's a giveaway for pizza table starter kit. All right. That's another raffle item here. So you take these pizza tables and of course I only go to the place that has deemed reason to be. If you only go to a place that has pizza tables, and you take them and you turn them upside down. So I'm gonna take some out of here. Again, I removed the label on there. And you take these pizza tables and you turn them upside down. And when you paint or stain an item, you put it like that. Now you only have 3 little points of contact on there. And you can use 2, 4, 6 tables, as many as you want. And here's my little tray sitting on the pizza table. People throw these out. I bet you don't do it anymore, right? Raffle item, pizza table starter kit. Let's see how our labels are doing here. So it's nice. Usually when I take a label off, because the day after I cut my fingernails here. So I look at that. Can we zoom in here? Look at that label coming on. Well, it all didn't come off. You can go back with your nail and take that off. All right, you get the idea. silicone spray.
Use your paint scraper.
Well, there you go. Thank you. I love it. Look at that. And it's gonna work, all right? So that's just, that's what's not well. Raffle items, pizza table starter kit. Okay, what is this? There's two or three people know what this is and they can't answer. What is this? Amazon bag, someone said, just sell out anything.
The shipping involved.
Wrong. Anybody else? Wrong. It's a knee pad. So I take these. I take an Amazon bubble wrap bag. I stick one in there, and I stick one in there, and I stick one in there, and I stick one in there until I'm out of bags. I use packing tape. Don't use duct tape or electrical tape because that gets kind of funny. And now when I'm working in my shop, I got a knee pad. I got one in my shop. I got one in my basement, one in my garage. Again, people throw, I can't believe people throw these out. Come on. Has everybody learned something?
Oh, yeah.
Who has not learned anything today? Okay, thank you. Okay, this is something, you got your sandpaper. As soon as I buy sandpaper, I take my Sharpie and I mark the grid on there. Because after you used it, you can't tell what it is. And if you got used sandpaper, it says 600, is it 3, is it 6? I buy new sandpaper, Sharpie, I mark them right off the bat. It helps me save time, because when I sand something, I take the used paper, I put it upside down so I can read it, and then I can go from paper to paper to paper. And if you put the Sharpie on there, it's a little bit easier. What is the biggest waste of space in your shop?
Me.
You're not in your shop. The ceiling,
Yeah.
ductwork, just fill it anything you want. Sawdust. Okay, so I look at my shop and I look at what's the biggest waste of space. And well, furnace not really because you want to stay warm, but and if you guys have been in my shop, I got a lot of stuff in here. And so I'm always looking at space saving, space. What can I do with the space I already have, right? The tube that's in your table saw fence. It's that big, it's that long, and there's nothing in there, right? It's wasted space. So I take my my 3D printer, you take that plug out, you save it because I don't know why. And you print this on my 3D printer. And that fits into that hole. And there's a plug so you can pull it out, okay? So now this is I like stainless steel so it doesn't rust. 1/4-20 stainless steel flathead screw, fender washer, and a locking nut. So now I can put anything I want into that tray and pull it out, okay? So what do I put in mine?
Jewelry.
I have 2 rings and a watch. That's all the jewelry I own. So my solution is you print this tray, put a bolt on there. I'm donating this one to the club. And I have 2 here for the raffle with all bolts on. You can put your own bolts on here and that's another raffle item there. Okay, so what do? I put my wrenches in there for my saw stop. Because you got to bend over all the time to get your wrenches. And I want to put on the side of my saw stop, I want to put a cabinet there, a little saw blade. So in the future, I won't be able to get to the wrenches. So I'm storing them inside that tube. All right. Now my tube is pretty long. On the other side, I got a bunch of rulers or scales, and they have holes drilled in them, and it's really nice to put them in there so you don't get bent. And you use a wasted space, so that's how I do that. Raffle item. I'm giving the one to the club with the guild with the bolt, and there's 2 without a bolt. You can build your own. Okay, saw caddy. While we're talking about saw table saws. This is my saw caddy, and I built for my shop saw, and I built it out of scrap items, and it slides back and forth on your fence, right? And mine, I made it so on the bottom, there's a piece of nylon in there. I don't know if you can see that. Is it on there? Yeah, so there's a piece of nylon, so it slides on those rails. It slides on there real nice. Have to use my knee pad here to pick that. All right. No one's gonna throw these out anymore, right? So I have this made, so you can see in the I have a couple rulers in there. And this slides over the rulers, and I like to have the rulers, I don't like using a tape measure to measure from my fence to a saw blade. I have a 24-inch scale, I got a couple really nice ones in there, Starrett ones in there. And this slides above it, and it slides real nice, and it has everything I need in there. Okay, my push stick, and it's really nice. When you start sawing, you put a piece of wood in there and you go, I don't need any push sticks. And all of a sudden, I need a push stick, and it's like right there. You don't have to go looking for it. If you have a place for it, it goes back in its place. You don't have to go on the wall. You don't have to hunt. I got my tape measure. I got my carpenter pencil. I got my angle finder. I got my push block, all sitting right there. And then this is kind of wide, and I really like it. It's kind of chewed up. It's not going to last forever. But what do you do when you got to push a piece of wood really close to your fence? And you want to keep your fingers really far away. Somebody gave me a piece of Lexan. And I love Lexan because you can machine it, you can drill it, you can tap it. And it's really, really easy to use. And this thing is really tall. This is a piece of hardwood in there. And a nylon screw. So I have a saw stop, metal or activated. There's no metal in this at all. This piece of wood here slides up and down. If it gets chewed up, I can just make a new one. And it keeps your fingers really far away in that. So I paid probably about $1 for the bolt and for the nylon wing nuts at Elliott's Ace. Everything else is scrap. Like I said, somebody gave me a bunch of crap Lexan, and people call me, email me at least once a week. I'm throwing this out. You want this? Yeah, okay, I'll take it. And they had this really jagged thing here, and I just cut it off, and I go, that's perfect. And I was going to shorten it, but I know I really like this. And when you're pushing, it sits right in there, right? This is on my saw. Sits right in there, and I'm pushing. I can grab it right away and finish the job. Really works nice. Okay, we're talking about storage. So I keep my rulers, my scales right there, and they're flat. They don't get bent, and I don't use a tape measure to measure from my fence to my saw blade, because every tape measure you have is different. A 24-inch scale is going to be a 24-inch scale. Okay, my chop saw is right next to it. So I take everything out of this, and I can put a piece of wood in my chop saw, and it can sit on this, and this keeps it the same height as my chop saw. So the first one I built, I changed the design so it could do double duty. So this does a lot of things. Keeps all my tools there, and it's also an extension for my chop saw. Raffle item. So I printed this on my 3D printer. So you can go buy these, they're kind of expensive. And I printed this one, and I'm raffling it off. So this is another raffle item there. Along with the pizza table starter kit there. Okay. Is it warm in here, or is it just me? So, one of my favorite movies and favorite movie stars is James Gardner. And this is a picture of him from the Great Escape, thank you. And his job in the Great Escape was to scrounge. There's only 3 Americans in there. And he was one of the Americans. And his job was to scrounge. And I've been accused of that, and I wear that very proudly. And he is my motivation for scrounging. Again, people give me free stuff all the time, and I turn stuff down all the time. Okay, so 5-gallon buckets. I'm appalled when someone goes and buys a 5-gallon bucket. I see everybody on YouTube has a Home Depot 5-gallon buckets, and I'm like, This is $4.19 for a 5-gallon bucket, okay? I have never in my life bought a 5-gallon bucket. I should take a picture of all of them, yes. This is how I get it. Use pickle buckets. Now, if you know someone who works in fast food goes through quite a few hamburgers, quite a few pickles, and pickles come in 5-gallon buckets. When I was working at Harley in the cafeteria, I made friends with the dishwasher, and I got all the pickle buckets I wanted.
Your house also downstairs, but the money goes back to the charity of the.
That's good. But she said Firehouse sells pickle buckets, but if you know some kid, my daughter worked at Culver's, and I said, Jenny, pickle buckets, and she goes, I never got one from her. Now, as good as pickle buckets, and they're the same price for me as cat litter buckets. I got 2 friends that have cats, and they give me the buckets because they just throw them out. So I use them for storing material. I have one for scrap steel, scrap aluminum, scrap stainless, and scrap copper and wire. And then I take it to the scrap yard and I get a couple bucks for it. And so I use them all the time. If you ever been in my shop, I got a ton of them. You can go around.
Any drywaller has lots and lots more.
Drywaller, there, see, I love how people think, drywaller. You got a friend who's a drywaller?
Oh, I built my own house, so 22 years ago, I still have some of those buckets left.
And you use them every day, right? They're the greatest thing.
Some of them, a bunch of them are sitting up in my shop.
Years ago, before Home Depot started selling them, you had to know somebody, it's kind of like a club, and I worked at a machine shop, and we got tapping fluid in there. And then they were throwing it out, and I got it and put it in a part washer, and I took it home. And everybody goes, what are you doing with that? I said, well, it's a 5-gallon bucket, I'm taking it home. Well, then everybody wanted it. So if you got something going on, don't tell anybody. So in my youth, I was working at a place, and I was friends with the maintenance guys, and I would work maintenance on Saturdays, painting and fixing stuff for them. I was a production worker during the week. And I would go through they had a scrap hopper about this big, and I'd go through it every day on the way to work, and there was a welding cable in there. And I asked the foreman, I said, hey, can I have that welding cable? He goes, sure. What are you gonna do with it? I says, I'm gonna cut it in half and make jumper cables out of it. That's gonna be the best jumper cable ever, because there's so many strands in there. And I said, I'm gonna go to a hardware store across the street and buy some big alligator clips. He says, you can't have it. Guess what he did? Lesson learned. Okay, so I'm working at the same company, and there's a meat processing plant, and we would put plastic straps on all the boxes. And it comes on a cardboard tube, like a toilet paper tube, but this were, about this big in diameter, probably ½ inch thick, about that tall. And they had 6 to 8 banding machines in a plant, and every day one of them would be changed out, and then I would take them home. So I'm taking them home, everybody goes, what are you doing with all of those? I won't tell anybody because I learned that lesson. What I was doing was I was wire tying them together. So this is oh boy, early 80s. I was wire tying them together 3 high, and I would carpet them, and I use them for speaker stands. And some friends come over from work and they go, now we know what you do with the carpet. So then I didn't tell anybody until I had enough. But I made, like I said, I made friends with the dishwasher in the cafeteria, and he'd run the buckets through the dishwasher for me. And then I'd bring them home, stick them outside, or my shop would smell like pickles. And my wife goes, are you eating pickles down here? So I let them sit outside for a couple of weeks and wash them up and then use them in the shop. Okay, friends like to give me stuff. My friend built a shed on the left-hand side there. There's a bunch of particle board, and like, okay, what does a woodworker do with particle board? Well, I have a CNC router and I use it for prototyping. I make my CAD model, and I tape that down, and I run the part. This is one of the parts I made, these little trays. And I can get all my sizes, because sometimes you think you got the model perfect and you have the setup perfect, and you run the part, you go, I didn't think of that, or whatever, and I've made mistakes, and I can fix it before I use wood. On the right-hand side, I have a friend who does flooring, and A lot of times when a homeowner buys flooring, hardwood floor, they have to buy so much, and there's some left over, and the company will, you can't return the hardwood floor. Especially if it's custom order, and the homeowners don't want it. I get a call, hey, Dave, you want some hardwood floor? All right, I'll take it, and that's a rack sitting there. And it's not a very good picture of the rack, but the rack I got off of Craigslist free, and it was a retail rack for clothing, and I turned it into my lumber storage. So I make these trays on my CNC router. This one had a hole in it. And, but I used the flooring, the reclaimed flooring, and it has all the grooves in there. And I kind of like that because some of them say made in Canada or made in USA. I kind of like that because it kind of tells a story, just not a plain piece of wood. So people give me stuff, and that's stuff they give me. Cheat goods I got from the same guy. Hey, this is left over from my job. And I'm like, yeah, okay, I'm in the shop. He brings it over. And I have projects. I have so many projects. When I die, I won't finish them all, and that's my goal. To have half-finished projects, you know, because I'm always working on something, 3 at a time. Okay, so I go to my doctor's office and I'm become friends. I get an allergy shot once a week. I'm down at every 3 weeks, but I was there every week, every Wednesday at 9 o'clock. They got to know me. I'm a fun-loving guy. They got to know me, and they know I'm strong, right? And they go, hey, Dave, we're closing this office and we're gonna consolidate to one office. We lost the lease. Do you want some examining tables? So obviously no, but I tell my wife, I said, hey, you're closing the doctor's office, I can get some examining tables. No. I said, wait, they don't have stirrups, don't worry. And so they said, Dave, you can take anything you want. So in my shop, I got these 3 chairs. The brown one is by my printer and by my CNC mill, and that's my CAD station, and the other 2 are on by my main work table and that. And people come over, they sit there. One of those pink ones ends up at my CNC router. And I called a friend up, and I text a friend and said, hey, I got a line some office chairs. And they're free, do you want any? He goes, I'll take them, but no pink ones. And I'm like, I don't care what color they are. You know, and I got him 2 office chairs. He was delighted. So people give me stuff. People come up all the time. Okay, in my shop, my surround sound system. I'm 63. That means I like classic rock. So if you come over, I'm playing classic rock, and I'm playing it pretty loud. My wife will text me. My shop is about 200 feet from the house. My wife will text me and say, turn down your music. And when I'm welding or I'm doing something, I play it real loud. I wear ear protection, but I play the music loud so I can hear it. And I know it doesn't work out, but she's, you know, can you turn it down, you know? And I like really hard rock when I'm welding for some reason. I don't know why. If I'm doing CAD work, I like blues. But so my friend, his dad passed away, and we cleaned up the garage, and on the left-hand side is a Yamaha receiver, 5.1 surround sound. He goes, you want it? So yeah, so I got it. I replaced a smaller one I had that didn't work very well. And I kept blowing fuses in it, so this one works real nice. I mean, I play it really loud. I got a computer fan on the side of it, pulling air past the power supply to keep it cool so it doesn't kick out. Because this will kick out on me. So I had some smaller speakers that I was using. And our friend, he goes, hey, I got a pickup truck. He goes, hey, can you help me take some stuff to the dump? Sure. So he had some, I can't remember what it was. He pulls out these 2 speakers like this. And I go, what's wrong with this? He said, nothing. We never used them. We got the sound bar. I said, put them in the back seat. We took all the stuff to the dump, and I hung them up on I got a slot wall around the shop, and I hung over a rope on an angle. They're supposed to stand this way, but they work better that way. So I mean, I got a very nice surround sound for nothing. So this is my $75 dust collecting system. Less than $75, and I'm trying to rack my brain. How much did I really spend on it? So let's start from the bottom. You see that yellow bucket? I bought that off of Amazon for $42. 3 days later, I get one off the curb for nothing. I go back to Amazon, I couldn't return it because it was too big, and I end up selling on Craigslist to a guy who's a member here. I don't, Mark or Mike is now, I don't see him here. Okay, so, you know, so I was like, I couldn't believe it, you know, and I'm like, I said, what size bucket do I want? I went back and forth for days. 3 days later, and I'm going down the street. I usually don't go down. I did a detour. I think there was construction going on. And a disclaimer, I don't drive around looking for junk. People think I do that. I don't have the time. I don't have the interest. You'd be surprised the stuff I find between my house and Menards, and it's an 8-minute ride down the Woods Road.
They know your path.
Yeah, and so I get, so my dad's in a nurse home. My mom broke her elbow, and I took my mom to see my dad. We were coming home. And my mom, I took out for dinner. And we're driving down the street, I had a Ford Ranger, and I pull over, and on the side is a bicycle and a vacuum cleaner. And I put them both in the back of my truck. My mom is trying to hide in my truck. I took the vacuum cleaner because I like vacuum cleaners because you get all the hoses and attachments and you can use them to your machines. And the bicycle, my son was probably 12, 14. The chain was rusted. It's like they left it on the side of the garage. He takes it off, soaks in some oil, and he had a really nice bicycle. It was a couple $100 bicycle. He had it for years. All right. So I don't drive looking for garbage, and everybody thinks I do that. So on top of that, that clear tube is it. So I also belong to a homebrew club, Milwaukee Beer Barons, Milwaukee. People like to give me stuff. My friend says, Dave, I got 2 plastic fermenters. They have cracks in there. They're no good to me. But there's only one guy that can figure out something to do with them. Here you go. And I said, thanks. So I put them in my shop, and I'm like, kind of forgot about them. So then I'm watching a YouTube video. I watch a lot of YouTube. And I see this guy from somewhere in Europe. He took like a 2-beer soda bottle and made a cyclone out of it. And I go, brilliant. I got this in my shop. This is a cyclone. This is a fermenter. This is a cyclone, right? Again, I got it for nothing. So, okay. And people go, how do you come up with all these ideas? Well, what do you do before you fall apart? I'm thinking about my next project. I'm thinking about tomorrow. I'm getting up. I'm doing this. I'm doing this. I have all these projects and I'm thinking about this. And I said, okay, well, this is a 5-gallon bucket. Let me get out. I have a laser pointer somewhere, maybe not. This here is a 5-gallon bucket I cut off. And then I bolted it down there, silicone it. This is a piece of wood. I used my router and I trimmed it round with a 4-inch hole in there. And I went to the store and I bought a 4-inch connector to connect the hose onto the side of my cyclone, right? I drilled a hole in there, I bolted it down. And one day I'm taking out the recyclables. And it was the holidays and kids were over and white brought some orange juice and that like that for breakfast, big holiday breakfast. And I'm taking out the recyclables, and on the top of the recyclable bin is this here. So this is the orange juice bottle, right? And I'm looking at that and I go, huh. I take it down in the shop, I measure it. Guess how big it is? Exactly 4 inches. So this die, whoever made this die, the engineer made it 4 inches. It's exactly 4 inches. So you take your dust collecting hose, we cut the ends off. Look at that. And then, so I cut the ends off. I take out the adapter. And you can kind of see it in the picture. It's kind of like in the back, okay? So far, in this whole setup, I have no money invested. So I made a cyclone for nothing. Now, it's pretty lucky that I found that yellow bin on the curb, but you can make it out of a garbage can or anything. Okay, so now I tell my son I'm building a cyclone system, and he says, talk to Justin, his friend. He bought 3 dust collector blowers on Craigslist, but he needed 1. And I called Justin, I said, I heard you got a blower. He drops it off, and it's a Harbor Freight blower. And I said, okay, so I got the blower. And, you guys know what, oh geez. You know what strut is? It's a channel iron,
Mhm.
sitting here, and they use it in industrial, they bolt it to wall, they bolt plumbing to an electric. I got a bunch of Unistrut off of the Craigslist for free, and it was a bicycle rack, and this lady was moving, and I probably got $200 worth of Unistrut. I could have returned it to Menards, it still had labels on it, and that's what's holding up my floor. Now that filter in there, does anybody have a filter like that in their dust collecting system?
Mhm.
How much did it cost? 230, you said $230? I got $25 off Craigslist brand new. So I'm looking on Craigslist. There's a guy, this is during the height of COVID, there's a guy in Pewaukee who rebuilds equipment that makes concrete, that lays concrete. And he had this big factory, I go in there, and they were taking apart these machines, and they're just going out and rebuilding them. And this goes on the engine as an air intake. And he wanted $25 for it, I got it for $20. Free blower, filter for $25. Okay, and then the hardware, so I don't even think it's $75 for my system. So now, behind that, I bought this. I bought it upstairs, and this is the dust collector system. And when you turn on the drill, when you turn on the saw, the chop saw, my CNC router, my sander, it turns on my dust collector system. It opens the appropriate gate, closes everything else. You turn off the saw, whatever. It runs for 10 seconds and it closes all the gates. Now I paid, probably got $500 for that. But I saved all the money in the front end of that. And that is so nice because if you go and you say, I'm gonna cut a piece of wood on a chop saw, where's the dust? I gotta go over here, I gotta find it, I gotta turn it on, I got a clicker, I turn mine on and it goes on and off. And you go, well, I'm just gonna cut one piece of wood. I'll let the dust be here. I'll cut one piece of wood, too long. Cut it again, too long, cut it again, just right. Now you cut it 3 times. My system's been on and off 3 times. I don't have as much of this. Okay, cracked 5-gallon fermenter is a dust collector system. Okay, so what's the difference between these 2 items? The black item you can purchase online for about $10. This is about $3 with orange juice. And then you just cut it off and then and it's the wall is so thin that it doesn't affect the flow. The flow flows real nice in there. Orange juice or lemonade. And the nice thing about this did not come out of my shop fund. This came out of the household budget. You gotta remember that, okay? There's a savings there. That's like you do a $10 savings.
That's what I always with my wife. was like,
Painting shears?
You can talk to her at the Christmas party. She just shakes, she goes, she kind of knows I'm doing this tonight. Okay, so here they are. They're both of these are 4-inch. I showed you that fits in a really nice 4-inch. My gosh, why would you not? Okay, pizza tables and orange juice. Okay. Okay, so here's your 4-inch dust collecting system hose, and here's your clamp. And count how many clamps you have on your system. I engineered the clamps. I am engineering, I'm not done yet. I'm engineering the clamps out of my system. Because I printed this adapter. See the threads on there? It threads right into there. And it's tight enough that it's airtight. So now I can go from 4-inch to 3-inch with different adapters I got. All my good adapters are on my machines. And it took me a while to figure this out because I was printing these and the threads were always left-handed or right-handed. And it's not working. And all of a sudden I realized it was backwards. And so on all my hoses, a lot of my hoses, I print my own adapters and then I don't need a hose clamp. You ever got cut by these ends of the hose clamp, you know, like kind of a pain. So I engineered the clamps out of my lighter. Okay, yes, I do buy things. I showed you a lot of free things, things I scrounge, things people give to me, things people I find, stuff I repurpose. I like to look at things and go, I can use that, and my wife is just like, she hates, me taking out the recyclables. So I have over 200 videos on YouTube, and in some of my videos, I take things apart, so I like to see how things work. When I was a kid and I get a new toy for Christmas, I can't wait till it's broken so I can take it apart and see how it works. You know, so she broke a curling iron. Goes back many years ago, and I said, "What's happened?" Well, the cord got tangled and went rotated, and it's all the cord failed. So I took it apart. And I said, "Next time you buy a curling iron, buy the ones where the cord's rotated around." Okay, you girls know what I'm talking about? They kind of swivel. And I figured it out. I said, "Hey, buy these kind of curling irons because the cord won't get snagged and it'll work really nice and they last a lot longer." So I'm watching YouTube. She comes out of video and she says, "I can't believe this." I go, "What?" She goes, "Look at the wire, the underwire, my bra broke." And I go, "Let me see that." And she goes like this, and she goes, "No, you're gonna make a video of that." So I never saw that project. She got it all, you know. I just want to see, I want to see the failure point, you know. I like this, I like to see how things break and take apart. One of the things I did at Harley, we made test articles, and they would test the hell out of everything. They'd test the hell out of bolts. They had a thing that ran a kickstand. They call them side stands in a bike, and it would go back and forth. Millions and millions of cycles because they were testing the springs, they were testing the kickstand, they're testing the hardware. They tested everything like that, and stuff would break, and then they would engineer to make it so it would break. So I like looking at things that broke and like, okay, if that broke, if I bought a tool and it broke, I'm not buying that brand anymore. You know, if I buy a vehicle, I have many vehicles in my life. If that vehicle doesn't work out for me for whatever reason, I'm not going to buy that brand anymore. So I try to, you know, look at things like that. So on the left is label maker. I got that at Costco. They don't sell them anymore, but you can get it, you know, Amazon or if there's any stores left. And I label everything in my shop. And my friends come over and they go, "You are crazy." And I go, "Well, you spend so much time doing it." I go, "No, I don't. You label it once, and then I go up to my wall and saw all those jars, and I can find that item quicker, get my parts out and put it back. Sometimes I'll have hardware spilled out and I go through it and I put it back in the jar and it goes back. If you have a place to store something, it will go back. If you don't have a place to store it, it's going to be like this table here, just a mess, and now you got to go through it. So the other item here, and I paid for this off of Amazon, it's $50. And that hooks up to my receiver that I showed you that I got from nothing. With two RCA jacks, you know what an RCA jack to plug in the back, whole stereo receivers. And I Bluetooth music from my phone to my stereo. So the nice thing about doing that is, well, I listen to Apple Music,
Apple Play.
Pandora, and YouTube Music, and a bunch of different ones. And Dave was over and goes, and he goes, "Yeah, I like the music." And you know, he was over here today, and so when I come in, I turn it on, I turn on my music, and it automatically connects. So I'm listening to my music, I'm rocking out, I'm having a good time. But then when the phone rings, the music stops and it rings through my stereo, so I can hear someone calling me. So then I go over and look, oh. Or if I get a text, it dings, so I get an email and dings her, so it notifies me if I got an email and text. Sometimes you're waiting to hear something, and sometimes not. But $50, the stereo was for free. I spent $50 on this thing, and I had it like 3 years. It really, really is nice. And I'll have my phone in my pocket, walk back to my house, go to the bathroom, come back down, and it will reconnect automatically. So it has like 35 feet range. And I really enjoy music in the shop, and sometimes podcasts. So that's all, folks. That's the end of my presentation. Did you guys like this? Should I do it again? Would you like to see? Would you like to see something like this similar? And again, was this educational?
Yes.
Did you learn anything? You didn't learn anything. Dave knows all that stuff because he saw the presentation yesterday and, you know, and I showed Dave, Dave, what's this? Well, it's Amazon package. Okay. You gotta watch my presentation. So also, I'm a big fan of Speedy Metal. And I go there, I've been building this project. And they're in New Berlin and they sell metal and nylon. And I got the books from them. So if you come up here, you know, take a book, take a business card. We have some raffle items here. I hope you guys were entertained. I hope you guys learned something. And I hope you had fun. Thank you.
Take about a 10 or 15-minute break and then we'll go show us how raffle and go by. Yeah.
And remember those magazines before the Campbell gets sold.
Go back there.
Next time I can spot you. They were regular. They got like. I did. I tried to stay. Yeah.
Yeah. Gary found a website thing.
Okay, did you?
Yeah, so I got the microphone going out into the mixer there.
Yeah.
And then the headphones coming back into here, so it all goes back to the side. No, nice job. Are you serious? Serious. The beginning was a little fuzzy, but you're fine. I don't know why the TVs are so shitty this time.
I wasn't sure. When you put stuff on the TV, was that supposed to follow slides or?
No, you just follow,
Okay,
just follow him. Just stay with him, yeah.
I couldn't tell you.
Henry, wasn't it? And then I got my George.
I was trying to.
And then Tom emailed me the other day and said he won't be here tonight. So.
Yeah. Well, that's.
There was another guy that helped, was gonna help us here, this little since then. He came there one night and that was it. He's an older guy, I don't even remember.
Did you remember that?
Yeah. He's cameraman. So now I can,
Just what I needed.
clean that one down. Clean that down so we can hear that. Uh-oh.
You're gonna be our new chief technical officer. Help me finish up my project. Can't get it done.
Oh. What do you gotta get done?
We were setting up a Google workspace
Oh.
and,
I think that's what I think that's the one I got, like I'm using. Oh, not, okay.
So you catch my drift.
Yes, I got you. Okay. They can put it on the computer.
Yeah.
It's not gonna be,
We don't have time for lessons.
yeah, I even got that on my phone, but I haven't really hooked it up much.
That's, got that mistake. Quick fix. We
Oh,
actually got 5 copies of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I got from home. Yeah, I got 365 on my phone, yeah.
I didn't use Google Docs. Oh, yeah. It's like 30 on. I'll choose sleep and.
I gotta go use the facility.
You have to find out that. You know, it's. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. This understanding that work when I see it. You know better than we do. More. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, me too. Yeah. Yeah.
Say it again?
Gotta get higher resolution.
Well, yeah, the camera's just shit. Yeah, the cameras are. Well, we lost 3 people so far, so. Okay. Oh. Whoops.
Well, technically, you even have an audio jack on here.
Yeah.
They're getting one of those, they're hooking this up. The audio from there, but it works better with the guy kind of mix it. All the sound goes to the max. It's all better. As soon as you get it from digital, there's a delay that.
That's what it was called. Maybe do that with Jerry found this switch on.
I have some docs that are.
Mike's turn. Pull the microphone back on.
Video cameras or when you go to.
DSRs? I've been looking on Craigslist and stuff, the marketplace for cheap ones, but they still want $400 or $500 to use one. I was gonna bring my camera in, but to see how it works. Camera. Just finished out of there, Greg.
Maybe we got to put a bug in the ear as far as like, we actually get the money.
Yeah. No, they won't.
They won't do it for that?
I asked them at the one meeting, the next meeting, if you could do, if camera equipment stuff, if no, it has to be tool to work on, but it is tool. And sure, you don't. You take all the keys out of the keyboard?
No.
There's one. All the keys are gone? Yeah, one set of masters, but that doesn't. Well, there's one set for, box on the pillars. Yeah. All the other ones are gone. Oh. Well, we're ready for you. Okay, let's take your seats.
I know better.
Get your.
No, it's not a straw, I want to make it stop. That one was a shot. Yeah.
Okay, I guess we are ready. What we'll do tonight, we'll do the raffle first. That will be the blue tickets. If your number is called, please put your name on it. Who's collecting tickets tonight? Okay, give your ticket to Mark back there, red hat. Give them to him. So the first number. 651. 651.
Tom?
630. 630. All right, Jerry. 600. 600. Tom, did you want to look? Okay, nobody got six. Nobody got 600? Mark's got it, okay. 628. 628. Oh, that's Jerry. All right. 605. Jonathan, all right. 646. He's up a little better. 695. 695. Tom, how many items do we have left?
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
4.
Okay. 725. 725.
Yeah. 3, right here.
Okay. How close were you, Beth? Oh, okay. 667.
That's me.
618. Dave. We got one more, I think, right, Tom? Last one. 676. 676. Pardon? That you no? Okay, you look like you're ready to go. No 676?
Oh, yeah, I got it.
Oh, yeah. Is that it then, Tom?
That's it.
Okay. Now we will do the red ones. Keep in mind, keep your tickets so that at the end, we raffle off the items that Dave has got. Really won't. We'll just have to give him. The first red one. 200.
Oh, come on.
Oh, Floyd?
199. Yeah.
Last year.
That's right, I got it.
Last year is one number off.
215. No 215? No, it's not. 215 going once. How about this gentleman? Why don't we check this? What's his? Oh, you got it? Okay. It's not 215. Okay. 215 going once. Going twice. 215 gone. 218. Pardon? There you go, sir. Two oh one.
Yeah. 190. The first one you gave me, it was torn. You can read the last time.
I think I believe. You got two more. Two oh nine. Oh, Dave. This is Dave McBride, ladies and gentlemen. This is the phenomenal pen maker. You'll probably buy stuff upstairs to make pens. Thanks, Dave. Last one, 219.
That's the wrong number.
That's the wrong number. Okay, I'm gonna put these back in and then we'll do Dave's right away.
You're having a good night today. Okay, so the items up for raffle are. You should be able to start it. First one. And these are going to your sauce pack. I want to get there to get the sauce pack. And then I got tons of the ultimate glue sticks. No, everybody's almost gonna price it. I think that's all I said I was gonna raffle off, correct? Okay, so you come up here and you grab whatever you want, one item. 218. All right, enjoy it, and let's go.
Floyd.
36. On down. If you go to South Stop there. Or you got, you don't want to do this thing, but repeat the table turn. All right, enjoy it. 211. 211. 211. 19. 219. Good, no? All right. 199.
Oh,
Okay. What do you want?
what do you got?
You already got everything.
Yeah.
Everything for Dave.
Yeah,
You want all the dual stick?
sure. What the heck?
214. All right. 214, anybody, come on out. Full family. That's my number. You get to, you don't have to swear, you have some stuff. Two, seven, two, seven. Two, seven. And, the ultimate, who's swear? Two, six. Two, six, here, find out. Two, six. Two, six. That's right. You gotta get rid of this part. Yeah. Right, 232, 232. 206.
That's a jack of a box.
Perfect. Usually go down. 229. 229. 231. There's a little faster. 231. 231. The ultimate is that. And it's us. Okay. 231. 230. 230. 235. 235. 201. There's no stop. Ultimate boost rate. 201. 201. Yeah. For you. 201. You got sauce stop? No. Okay. Boost rate. Ultimate boost rate. Yeah. Everything gets on 204, 204. There's some stuff. 202. Yes. Ultimate boost rate. That's ultimate boost rate.
It's a sense to get a sauce.
No. Two taps, two taps. Anybody, two taps. 216. 238. Five years on top, ultimate boost rate. That goes on top. Here's on top. 2, 3, 4, 3, 4. Okay, your sauce now? No. Okay, 195, 195. Who the sauce stop? What's your number?
Go get one. Go get it.
Ultimate boost first.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, there you go.
And I have some. Guys, the money, give me a 420. Flat head. Last one. 197, 197, you get the ultimate boost product. And you guys for thank you guys for all the time work people come and talk to you. I really appreciate
Okay, for all of those that you have something in show and tell, if you could come on up. We'll get the first one and then everybody else on deck, please.
Yes. First, I got mine. Now the floor, which I made about 2 years ago. It's long, those are long. I like those today. Then I made. else made. That's kind of what, our district flat.
Yeah.
No. I think we want some flat. Then I would like to. Making the board. And this is the one I. Yeah. Now, the last name is Waldo. Where's Waldo? He's right there. He's actually right there. So it's perfect.
I thought that was so right.
All right, okay. I will sit down and put this back in the wrap.
Hey, Dave, thank you, Greg. The name to me is the little card for the toy group for about 5 years. People make them out of, two-by-fours. Couple years ago, I started making them out of a maple strip. Doors? Yeah. So we're making that, and then, what's left from ripping the strips for the 1-inch body, I made, heads out of the strips that were left from the strips. The veneer. Right here. That's what I set up.
Last weekend and with the award and bring. Good time, giving you some good people and greater than one with five. You get a chance to stand in. Thank you.
Maybe 30 years old. That's for one of the things is nice. We are usually, I don't know if it's handmade or factory made. But one part of it. Also. So it's pretty great on a farm. Very good. Thank you.
Where did you find the horn?
Where'd you get the horn, Gordon?
Was on there.
Oh, I thought.
No, he didn't make it. He
Oh.
We found it.
Is there anybody else that think we've got everybody up there? Any questions? Any comments? Anything? All right, then we are adjourned. Thank you very much. Drive safe.